All right, what's up, stalemates? Big week on tap. Cyhawk weekend. We got Jake, we got Corby, we got Tyler, we got a full house. This Sunday, the Iowa State duel is going on, and we are hosting a social at the Airliner from 11 to 1. And we're going to have tons of people in the building, tons of special guests. We're also going to do a live show Sunday morning at 9 on the YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel at 9 a.m. Free to watch. Just tune in. You can join the chat, chime in. It'll be live, so you guys can comment, and we'll be interacting with the comments as well. So make sure you guys are there and commenting. Get your coffee ready for the morning show. I'm excited to do it. Corby, you excited?
Oh, so excited, man. I can't wait.
And Jake, you'll be coming from where you guys wrestling this weekend?
We're wrestling in Kansas this weekend, so long trip for me.
Is that the Stampede?
No, it's the Gardner Edgerton tournament.
All right, cool. And Tyler will be on the 1s and 2s. So, guys, this is the show that I've been waiting for a long time for, and I'm glad that we were able to do it today. We got some probables. We got a Tom Brands presser. We got a Kevin Dresser presser. I'm ready. Let's get into the duel. We can start at 25. I don't think that this duel is going to start at 25. I think that they're probably going to draw. Corby, you're making a face. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, last year it was not drawn at Hilton. Spencer weighed in. So at the time of draw, Dresser's thinking Spencer's wrestling, and he doesn't draw. So they start at 25. They go straight up. I don't know what really changes this year. They're kind of looking at the same team, same lineups. Maybe strategically, maybe they decide to draw. I don't know. I think you just go straight up and wrestle it. We'll see though. Why do you think they draw?
I think that they're gonna, because they did that the last time that was at Carver. We started at 41, I believe, and I think then they do that against Penn as well. Then they start at a random weight at Penn. So I just feel like that's kind of what they've been doing over there. They've been drawn, which traditionally I felt like Iowa was always a school that liked to start at 25 because they're lightweight you. But I think it also probably matters who's wrestling 25. I'm not going to pretend. I think Spencer Lee's gone. I'll just say it. I think that he's gone. It's not like I have any inside information or anything like that, but it's pretty obvious if you ask me. This duel is insanely hyped up, just from last year and just the whole storyline and everything like that. And I've heard Spencer Lee's practicing at least. I hadn't even heard any evidence of that, and I feel like if there's any inclination of him, if there's any chance of him wrestling, he's gonna go. Like, the duel matters a ton. If it starts at 25, I think that he for sure goes. But I don't know. I think that they're gonna draw. I really do. Jake, if you were Iowa State, what would you do?
I think if I was Iowa State, I would probably not start at 125. I think that I think Spencer Lee, I don't know that he's wrestling for sure. I would imagine that they're going to have him ready to go. Like Corby said, they weighed him in last year. So I would imagine they weigh him in this year and kind of see what happens. But if I was Iowa State, I probably wouldn't start there. But that's probably more so because I think they're cutting some weight at 33 and 41. So that's kind of my thoughts on the whole thing.
Yeah, we can go ahead and start at 25, though. We don't need a draw. We can start at 25. Kaisen Tarakina, some message board warriors going on saying that he's injured. People think maybe it could be Kabamban. I have personally not heard anything, but it's not like I've really been hitting up people trying to figure out what's going on because they got a lot going on. So I think it would be Kaisen Tarakina, but I'll say this: if there's probably one weight where you're okay with an injury, it's probably 25. If Spencer Lee's going, if it's Aiden Harris, then obviously you want to take advantage of that and get bonus points, which, no offense to Aiden Harris, but he's been getting kind of lit up at that weight. So I would like to see who's going to be at 25 before I think, is it going to be Kabamban or Tarakina? But I don't really think that's a big step down if it is Kabamban either. Do you?
No, not at all.
I don't think it'll be much difference.
Yeah, I mean, Kabamban has a good win over Brody Teske last year. He's also got some weird losses. He took a loss at Daktronics to South Dakota State kid. But either way, I think if it's Spencer Lee, you're probably hoping for a decision if you're Iowa State.
I would agree,
I-
and I hope
Yeah.
they have the brands theatrics, and they do end up putting Spencer out there for the crowd.
If Spencer goes, he's getting a tech or a pin, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think otherwise.
And I don't think Spencer would need to be at full health for that either.
No.
Here's a theory for you, though. If it's not Spencer and it's Aiden Harris and your Iowa State, is it still Kyson Terrakina's time, or do you try to put up somebody that, could get 6 points or 5 points? Because Kyson's not really one that is going to get a pin usually. He gets a lot of just kind of regular decisions. I said this in our show, the Wisconsin show, that I was super excited about Kyson was that he had like great offense, but he's not really known, I don't think, to be like super offensive. You kind of see that in I think it was the Cal Baptist match. I can't remember which one it was, but he wrestles guys pretty close. And I don't think Aiden Harris is exactly I don't want to make this, I don't want to keep crapping on the kid. He's doing what he's got to do, but you got to get bonus points. And if you're Iowa State at 25, you got to put out somebody who's going to get bonus points.
If Terrakina is your guy, you put him out there, right? If he's healthy and he's your guy, I don't think you look at the dual meet like, oh, we need bonus here, and you put your backup out there. I mean, he did, last year they wrestled twice head to head. One match did go to overtime, both 3-1 matches, I believe. But Terrakina did beat Kabam Ban. But I think you go with Terrakina if he's healthy. I'm with Jake. If it's Spencer, look for a tech for sure. Maybe a pin. I mean, we've seen the videos. We've seen what's going on. I mean, we've heard, and known, that he wasn't really big into the weight room in the past. And, last year from the surgery on, he's kind of, bought into the weight room a little bit and put on some size in the upper body. So, man, if he was turning dudes with 2 fingers before, he was doing freaking pull-ups with 120 pounds or whatever he was doing. I mean, what do you think he's going to be doing now? So I don't know. I think you're going to see the matches he's in this year. I think you're going to see him go for the pin a little bit more than the tech when he, gets guys on their back, maybe lock it up a little tighter. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he goes or not. We're, you're 11 months out from 2 ACLs. Timeline, I mean, you're really close, right? If you're not ready to go now, you're really close to going, right? So, yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you're talking about, my gut says that if we start at 25, then, I mean, they have really, to me, this dual meet shakes out. We're going to go through it, but without him, man, there's a lot of toss-up matches. Without him, I got Iowa State possibly winning this match. And I know they're laying their heads on their pillow at night thinking the same thing. If you run this dual meet down, there's too many toss-up matches in there for Iowa to think, hey, we can win this without him, right? And listen, I mean, there was some oranges being thrown, right? And that's serious, right? People, I mean, you can think it doesn't matter, but it does. It matters in our sport, right? I mean, we're stubborn. We don't forget, and it matters. And I think, yeah, if it comes down to it, I mean, you run them out there, right? 11 months after the surgery, you run them out there, you blow the roof off the place, you get 6 right away, and then you jump into 133 where it looks like we're going to see Cullen, right? And what do you think for you guys? I mean, Adazov goes and wins the Open. Redding doesn't wrestle. Redding's the guy that's cutting the weight. Redding's the guy that has wrestled in the past, but, dual meets, but Ramazan, was hurt. So what do you think for you guys? Who you running out there at 33?
I would be shocked if it's anybody other than Ramazan. I mean, Ramazan's a lot better than people think. He's this very smart wrestler. With DeSanto last year, he was able to slow him down, which he obviously didn't win. And we're not going to talk about moral victories, but there's a lot of guys that haven't been able to slow down DeSanto. And I feel like Ramazan was really starting to get into the swing of things, and then he got injured in that opening round against the Penn guy at Nationals. But to me, I would be shocked if it's anybody other than Ramazan, and I'm taking him as well. Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. I think Ramazan's the guy. I think he's like you said, kind of maybe underrated at times by people. I think he can wrestle with just about anybody on his feet. I would pick Ramazan to win here over probably Colin or Teskey, to be honest with you. But I do think we see Colin. I think Teskey's probably still a little bit, a week or so out. But yeah, I've got Ramazan here. I think he gets a decision. It's probably going to be a 1 to 3 point match. It's going to be tight. It's going to be close. I think you're probably going to see Colin trying to chase down a takedown at the end, but I think that Ramazan's going to be able to get it done.
All right, moving on to 41, which to me is the premier matchup. If you could pick the headliner, I'm picking 41. You guys know my pick, so I'll go ahead and let you guys go. You guys are real high on Real Woods, which why wouldn't you be? The guy's been a hammer for years now. Carver debut, been banged up. He missed the All-Star Classic. I don't know. Was it ever public what was going on with the injury there?
I don't think it was ever disclosed.
What are you guys, part of the mafia or something? you guys I'm not
What
saying
money?
nothing. I'm not saying nothing. All right.
No.
That's fine.
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
I think it's a pretty tough read, though. His very first match of the year against Swiderski. I'm not sure what to think of that with Real Woods.
I think Swiderski's the kind of guy that lives for these kind of moments. And I think that he's been thinking about this matchup for a long time. Whenever he got interviewed at the beginning of the season, it was unprompted. He said he had this date circled, and for a true freshman to be that focused on a guy like Real Woods, I don't know if that means anything, but I think he's one of those guys that like these kinds of environments. We've seen him wrestle in the Rudis event, which is another, that was a big highlighted match for a high school kid, a 18-year-old kid, and he looked phenomenal. Who's number one? He looked phenomenal. So we've seen him wrestle in these big moments where the spotlight's directly on him, and he is usually his best in those kind of moments. So I'm picking Casey Swiderski. Corby, why am I wrong?
Here's the thing. I think people forget what a dog Real Woods is. They think that, he went out to Stanford, right? And I think people, look at him as like a slick guy, right? Real Woods is a grinder. Real Woods is physical. Go Google Real Woods, Joey Silva, Ironman final. Watch that match. And I mean, he's physical. I think he's back to where he needs to be in a room that fits his style more. He went out west, got that good degree, and now he's back. I think, I think he got a little dinged up. Probably maybe could have came back maybe by now. But hey, this is the big one, right? You're training. Why come out? Why show everybody the new Real Woods before the hype match, right? So let's go, right? December 4th, this Sunday, 141. I don't know. I know Casey's been in some big ones, but nothing bigger than Carver. Nothing bigger than Carver. I think it's close. I think Woods gets it done. But I think it's close. We haven't seen Woods a lot, so I think right? So we're not sure what to think. But I still think Woods gets it done. What do you think, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, where I'm at with Woods. I think he's going to win the whole thing. So I think this is a match he's going to win. But I do kind of think that this is going to be like the opposite of what you normally think an Iowa Hawkeye wrestling match is. I think Woods is going to come out really strong, and I think Swiderski is going to be chasing him down at the end. I just don't think he's going to be able to get it done. I think both guys are going to come out hot. You got Woods coming into his first match in Carver. You got Swiderski coming in also to his first match in Carver. I think they're going to come out swinging, and I think Woods is probably going to sneak a takedown in early, and then I've got Woods winning probably a 1-point match here. Whether it's like a 5-4, 7-6. I mean, it could get crazy, but I do think Woods is going to win. I think Swiderski's going to have an opportunity at the end. I just think Carver's going to kind of get to him a little bit.
That's interesting. I do think that Casey gives up the first takedown because he's given up the first takedown, I think, in almost every match he's been in this year. I don't think that shape's going to be a problem, though. I think there's been some fake news out there by the fake news media that wants to say that he's, off the scale or whatever. But, hey, going to find out. They're going to find out. They're going to find out soon enough.
That's another thing. Hey, that's another thing. You're talking about, we draw, right? Fine. Iowa State comes in, wants to draw or coin flip. They lose the flip. Iowa says 141. Let's get Casey off the scale. Do you want to risk that if you're Iowa State, or you just say, hey, we're just going to go 125? And you said earlier, I believe those teams that came in said, we want to flip. You understand? Iowa didn't say we don't want to start at 25. It only takes one coach to say, hey, we want to flip a coin, whoever wins. Now, it used to be different. Now you pick the weight. They used to have every weight in a pile, and they would draw a card out, and whatever card they picked or weight they drew, a number 1 through 10, it'd be that weight class. Now it's flip a coin. Whoever wins the coin flip, they decide, hey, I want to go 65. I want to go 57. I want to go 97. So it's a little bit more, to me, risky than it used to be. Before it was hey, every weight's got a 10% chance of being picked, right? Now it's a 50-50 and the other coach gets to choose. So it really is you got to really think about that before you go into that. So I do not think Dresser will risk it. I think they just go 25. They did it last year. I think they do the same.
But here's the thing, though. Why that's scary is, look who Iowa has as a closer. Do you really want, if Iowa State's got a decent little lead, do you really want to close with someone like Cassiope, who's a heavyweight that's very capable of getting 16 points?
Well, you could also lose, and they could say, okay, and you could make those two, they could say, all right, we want to start at 33 then, and 41 second. Now you got to close with Cass and then maybe Spencer. What do you want to think about that?
That's true. Yeah, that's crazy that they do it that way. I guess I never really thought of it like that, which makes it interesting. There's not a whole lot of duels throughout the year where something like every detail is going to matter with this thing this Sunday, Let's talk about 149.
And I think let's do it.
Yeah, we got Panero Johnson, another freshman for Iowa State, and Max Murin. Jake, I'll let you start off with your pick.
Well, I think we talked about the moment not being too big for Swiderski because he's been in it. I think this moment's just going to be a little bit too big for Panero Johnson. I think that Murin, being what is this, his 4th or 5th year in college, I think, he's been in the game for a while. He's going to have a good game plan going into this match. I think that he's going to be ready for what Panero has. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be tight. Murin always wrestles close matches. Panero's no slouch, obviously. And I think, if he gets a takedown, maybe that if Panero gets an early takedown, maybe that changes things. But, to me, I think Murin's going to hand fight really hard for the first period and kind of look to maybe get him tired or flustered. And then I think Carver is going to have an effect on Panero. And, I've got Murin winning a tight 1 or 2 point match. I think this is something that this is more, I don't know, to me, this is more of a toss up than 141, but I'm probably way off on that. I just I feel pretty good about Murin getting a win, but I'm probably a little off on that. Maybe I'm not giving Panero enough credit, but Murin's been around a long time, so I feel really good about him getting a dub.
Do you think this will be like a low-scoring match, or do you think they're going to be putting points up on the board?
Low scoring match. 3-2, 4-2, one takedown match. 41 I think is going to be 2 or 3 takedowns in the match. This has a one takedown match written all over it, especially after Pinheiro went 3-1 with the Grandview guy. Like he's going to wait for that one takedown, in my opinion.
Yep, I'm with you. I like 3-2, 4-3, 4-2, something mirroring. I think, like you said, you come out early, right? You get on him, you get on his head, you heavy hand him. You stop his powerful offense, and then you get to work. I think it's a total. You got a speed guy, right, against a mirror, and a guy that likes to get his hand, and you stalk you out. It's a style difference. I just we've seen, my opinion, I like Pinheiro Johnson, high on him out of high school. A couple years ago, I said I think I liked him out of all 50 states, out of anybody that wasn't a state champion in their state. I thought he was the best recruit coming out that didn't win a state title. I really like him. I just think we've seen Max Murin in this spot a bunch in his career against guys similar, and we've seen him get done. So I'm gonna, like you said, Carver has a lot to do with this too, and yeah, I go Murin. I mean, talk about toss-ups. My opinion, this next one at 157 might be this is a true, like you could say, hey man, at 97, Youngers beat Warner, that could go either way. Yeah, it can't, but I'm telling you, 57, nobody out there besides the Krazier family and the Seabrecht family know who to pick in this match. Like there's nobody that can say, oh yeah, he's gonna win. No, nobody knows what's gonna happen in this match. Anybody could win. Krazier's willing to go in there, roll around. We saw a minute and 50 scramble on Russell Hager had there in that match with, I think it was it him and Bonilla went at it, and unbelievable scramble. So he's going to be willing to let it go, and that's in Kobe's wheelhouse. So, man, I mean, I know we saw it the other night in the Penn duel, but man, I don't know, man, this match right here feels like 6 for somebody. I don't know why I feel that. I just feel like they're going to get rolling around. Somebody's going to get cradled. Somebody's going to get body locked. And man, I don't know. This is a true toss-up match. I think it's probably recency. I just saw Kobe do what he did the other night. So, man, I don't know. Give me Kobe. But if this match is low, Kobe, if this match totals more than 8 points, if it doesn't total more than 8 points and Krazier can somehow slow this match down, then I like him in this match, because I think technically and I think maybe right now he may be a little better, but the fur is going to fly here, and give me Kobe in this toss up. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I off here, or are you guys seeing this match the same way?
Unfortunately, I think the Hawks take this one. I really do. I think this is one that we had to win, but Kobe, I've been high on Kobe since last year. It's been documented. I felt like last year he was fun to watch. Guys like Kobe are scary.
Been documented.
Yeah, it's been documented. Last year, I can't remember what it was. This year, though, the Artelona match, like he was dangerous from his back. Like literally dangerous from his own back. And that's what freaks me out. If you look at that scramble that Krazier had with the Grandview kid, it was like, if he gets in those kind of situations, is he going to get pinned? Because Kobe knows Kobe's not afraid of those situations. And, I think Kobe's probably a tougher scrambler than the Grandview kid. No offense to the Grandview guy, but I'm very scared of this match. And I think, I don't know. I really don't. I really hope that it's just a decision for Iowa, because I feel like this could easily be 6 for Iowa.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I just think that, this is a match that Iowa wins, and maybe it's a Carver thing. I think, a toss up like this, I think Kobe's going to be amped up. He's going to go out. I think he's going to get a win. You're going to see some awesome scrambles. I'm with Zach. I think it's probably just a decision, but like Corby said, man, don't rule out 6 from either guy. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's probably gonna be the one that, I mean, imagine if they started at 57 like that. That's gonna throw everything off.
Solid.
But Kreiser is a guy that can slow it down. Like, he's gonna slow the match down quite a bit. He doesn't really shoot a whole lot. I feel like he's kind of lets the action come to him, which could be interesting. Could be a really boring match as well. I don't know. I'm not gonna predict that, but I feel like that's also a possibility. All right, 165, moving right along here.
165.
Yeah, 165. We got David Carr and Patrick Kennedy, which is another one that I think, like, this whole duel, this could be the headliner. I'm picking David Carr. I think it's going to be 6-5. I think he's going to continue to get that first takedown. I think PK is probably going to keep himself in the match. I could definitely see it being 6-5 with Carver hoping to get a stall call, like, to send it to overtime. I'm hoping Angel Rivera's out there, and I'm hoping he helps Cyclones get a victory here. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. I think, I'm thinking more of like a 7-5, 7-4 win for Carr. I think that Kennedy's maybe gonna shoot himself out of the match just a little bit. I think Carr's gonna be able to capitalize on a couple reattacks, but don't. I wouldn't be shocked if Kennedy were to pull an upset here. I'm not going to predict that, obviously. I think he's more than capable of doing it. And I also think it kind of matters how the duel is going. If Iowa's just reeling off victories, I'd be a little bit more high on Kennedy. But, if Iowa State sneaks out a couple wins there at the lower weights, I'd be shocked if Carr were to lose this match. But, yeah, give me Carr by 1, 2, maybe 3 points at most.
Yeah, man, this match is going to be last year, leaving Hilton. We were hyped. Everybody was hyped about it, right? I mean, we ran back to the studio. We did that show. And, everybody knew, at that point, pretty much, next year Carr's going up, right? So then the talk started, and I said then, man, I think Kennedy, if he goes up, I think Kennedy can hang with Carr. I think it's a good match. And Fellers, I think he thought I was kind of crazy, and then time went on, right? A couple months, and then all of a sudden freestyle this summer where you knock off Peyton Robb, you knock off Peyton Hall, right? And it's like, wow, maybe this can happen, right? And man, it's hard to predict, but man, I mean, it's going to be low scoring. I'm saying one takedown like you guys. I'll say like you, if this duel is predicted, like if it starts at 25 and the way that we've run this duel so far, okay, you got that Spencer coming out. If it's Spencer with a tech or a pin, then we give Adesov the win. Then 41 Iowa, 49 Iowa, 57 Iowa. Now you won 4 of the first 5 coming out into 65, right? So does something happen here? If that scenario plays out and this is the 6th match and it's Hawkeyes 4, then yeah, I think it happens. If not, then if it's 3-2, Hawks aren't blowing the roof off. If Spencer comes out tech pin and then 57 ends up a pin and they run out and Iowa's won 4 of the first 5, then yeah, I could definitely see this happen. It's not a blowout. Kennedy's right at the same level. And this is a 1-2. Let the Carr gets this, right? I think Kennedy's right there. I think come March, this result could change. But yeah, I think, right now you say Kennedy. I mean, I'm sorry, you say Carr, unless the duel's really, flowing Iowa's way. But yeah, I think it's really, really close. I think you see 3-2 match. And I can't wait for this one. This one's really exciting to me. My gut, and I'll say it here, and my brain gets to going sometimes on some wrestling thoughts that are just, might be a little out there, I guess. But over the weekend, when we didn't see MJ at the Open, right? My brain I'm like, wait, why is MJ not at the Open, right? So I start tracking down weigh-in sheets from November 5, right? And I start running calculations and to see why he wasn't at the Open at 65. And I guess, wasn't, right? So I'm like, man, did Carr think after this all-star duel that, hey, the Monday match, was close. Monday's is 57. Did Carr certify 57? And he's thinking, hey, maybe I go down and maybe MJ's on his descent down. Don't know. Probably not true. I saw an interview with Carr today, and face looks like the same as it was. His body looks the same as it was. So, probably just one of my crazy thoughts. But I mean, talk about a lineup. If you had Carr down and MJ in, and then let 74 play itself out, and that'd be a really good team for Iowa State. But anyway, what do you think? What do you think of Tyler of this one?
To me, I pictured it as it will be a close match, but I think even with like a close score like that, I feel like Carr will win it pretty handedly, but I would love to see him get tested as well. So I'm open to that possibility, but in my mind, it's Carr handling it.
I mean, I heard some Carr slander earlier today, and people are saying he looks different this year. I mean, he's beaten he's beaten Dean Hamidi already. He's beaten Quincy Monday already. I mean, these guys aren't exactly chopped liver, so I don't know what people are
like negatively. They're saying that.
Yeah, I heard some people on another podcast saying that he looked a little weird this year, but I don't think so. I think he looks just fine.
Solid this year. Yeah.
174 is another one that I think it's probably where Iowa State could pull off an upset. If there's, I would say with Nelson Brands being back, it's one of the weights that I think Vegas would pick Nelson Brands to be the favorite here. I would pick Nelson Brands to be the favorite. But if you're Iowa State and you're looking for a chance to steal one, this is the one that I think is capable of stealing. However, at 74, I'm picking Nelson Brands. He seems to be the Cyclone Slayer. When he beat, was it Colbray a year or two ago? I mean, it was like his first college match ever, and he beats Iowa State's top 10 guy. So at Hilton. So I just think that it's in the Brands DNA that he has to win this match. I think he's going to win this match. I do think, though, it's one that we could steal. And after watching him wrestle last weekend, I think there's a decent chance. I don't think it's that crazy to pick it, Cyclone at this weight, but I am going to go ahead and pick Nelson Brands to win at 74.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm on Nelson Brands. I don't think he's 100% yet. So, obviously, like you said, there's a chance at an upset there. But, I don't think there's a whole lot to say about this weight other than it is a toss-up. But I think Nelson Brands is favored. But, if you tell me Iowa State pulls this one off, and I think this is another one that if the duel is going Iowa State's way, boom, you got an Iowa State victory. If the duel is going Iowa's way, I think Nelson Brands is going to pour it on here. So, that's kind of my prediction. I probably sound like an Iowa homer, but I think Nelson Brands gets this one done. Just in a if we started at 174, I'd pick Nelson Brands. The only time I wouldn't pick him is if Iowa State rips off 3 or 4 victories right before him. Corby, where am I wrong?
No, I'm with you here. I think there's a match that I think, Zach, you're looking like last week. You thought, all the Nelson you saw. I mean, to me, I thought personally, first time back, and I mean, we've seen him since last December. I thought he actually looked pretty good. He controlled it. That's a Nelson type match, right? Where clearing ties, controlling the ties, snap downs, got to his score, lets the guy, dive in on a shot, go behind at the end, so I don't know. I think that's what you're going to get a lot of. I think Nelson Brands here. I think he controls this match. I think it's low scoring, but yeah, I just don't think I don't see Broderson having the offense to be able to rip off a bunch of takedowns, and I don't see him having much of a turn threat on top. So I think it's, both guys, hey, get away. We're on our feet. It could be a 3-2 match, but I think, could be close, could be, 5-3, but I think, I don't think you see either guy really open it up. I think, it's going to be a close match, but I think Brands takes it. And then we swing into the next couple where, to me, Iowa State's favored. I mean, Abe's looked good, but I'm high on Coleman, have been. It just seems like the trajectory is just steady, just climbing, right? And he looks good. He stalks well. He gets to his positions he wants to get to. He's attacking both legs, to where in the past I felt like he was, you kind of knew it was coming. He's actually really impressed me. He's doing better from when guys are on his legs. Yeah, I got him over Abe here, and I like Abe, Illinois guy, obviously. And but yeah, right here, I think right now, Coleman, you got to give him the edge here. My opinion, could be wrong, but I don't know. I see him being able to get in quick, maybe get a shot, maybe finish, and then maybe Abe hunkers down. He's not able to get that same score again, but that one was enough. That's kind of what I see. Jake, what do you got?
Yeah, aims high. I went to same high school as Marcus did, so I remember him when he was a 7th and 8th grader coming and wrestling with us at the high school. So, I actually used to wrestle him a little bit. So he's always had the athletic ability, man. I'm just happy to watch him, flourish here. But yeah, this is actually a match I think, I feel the most confident about picking outside of assuming Spencer's wrestling. I think Coleman is just that guy, and I think he's made huge improvements over the last couple of years. So, I've got him over Assad. Assad's a tough kid. He wrestles well. I think he's actually looked really good this year. But Coleman, I think, has made another jump since last year, and I think this is kind of his year to kind of just be the guy for Iowa State. And, I know they have Carr, but, outside of Carr, they've got Coleman, who's just like a mainstay guy who he kind of reminds me of Kyvan, a little bit, where just a great athlete, kind of one of those dudes that, always kind of beats Iowa, over the last year or so. So I'm excited for Marcus. I think he's going to get a win here. I'd be surprised if it's, not a 2 or 3 point victory.
You guys are finally wising up. I'm taking Coleman, Marcus Coleman. And if there's a weight that we could get some bonus points, I think it's this one right here, because that's what he does. He scores points. It's going to be great. There's some guys from Iowa State who just don't lose to the Hawkeyes, and Marcus Coleman is going to freaking put Iowa State on our back. I could see the duel being like a little bit out of our reach, but Marcus Coleman brings it right back. He gets that major against Abe Assad. I know you guys probably think I'm crazy. No? Do you guys think I'm crazy? You think we're in major territory?
Well, you are a Cyclone fan, so.
That's true. That's fine. All right. We'll get into 197. 197. You guys are high on Jacob Warner. I know Jake last year, the great pick. Corby, you love Jacob Warner. Tyler, you're a Hawkeye. You love Jacob Warner. My Jacob Warner is Younger Bastida. This is the guy. If he wins on Sunday, I might name my future kid Younger one day. I'm that high on this guy. I love watching him wrestle. Hell, after last weekend, we might be able to see Younger. He might get 4 minutes of riding time on Jacob Warner. I mean, you never know. So I'm picking Younger Bastida, the best mat wrestler in NCAA wrestling. He's going to win. He's probably going to get 2 takedowns. He's going to get one right off the whistle. I'm going to give a little bit of gameplay, and that's my own thought. Younger Bastida gets the first takedown right off the whistle, 4 minutes of riding time. I think he wins. No, I'm just kidding about the riding time. But he's going to win, and I think it's going to be like a 5-3 match, Younger Bastida.
I think if you like predict that score exactly right, then you should name your child after him. But otherwise, I think a lot more people have Younger than you realize. I don't think you have to name your firstborn after him or anything for that.
I'm high on the guy. I like watching him wrestle. He's gotten better every year. I remember watching him wrestle his first year, and the guy, like, at one point, I remember, like, he just didn't even, like, it was going to go to overtime, and he it was over, and they were like, get to the center, and he wasn't able to, like, comprehend, and he's just, I think the whole, again, the fake news media talking about he can't wrestle on the mat anymore, that's all old news. That's in the past. He can get out now. So, Corby, why is Jacob Warner going to win?
So coming in all year, I mean, it's a matchup issue, in my opinion, for Jacob Warner. Jake can ride and get that point, but he's pretty good on his feet and can take most guys. Younger this is where he is a master. So this trap too, though. There's a trap. So Warner has looked like not good, right? Not like Jacob Warner, but if you've watched Jacob Warner, I mean, he could come out and he could look like a national final. He could look like the best Jacob Warner you've ever seen. Am I going to say that? No, I'm going Younger. But this, in the NFL, game, they call them trap game. This is a trap match. I'm just telling you, I'm going, you said it all. I just think this is a matchup where it comes down to, Jake is really good at ties and getting his positions, and he just can't beat Younger to him, and this is where Younger, I think Younger gets him again. I go Younger here. Man, I love Younger. When he came in, I'm high on him. I like his progression. I like like you said, the first couple times he didn't even know it was overtime. He didn't even know the damn rules. Last year in the duel, he gets the team point taken for slamming the headgear. He didn't even know you couldn't do that. They'd never told him. They were worried about him freaking getting off the bottom all the time in practice, not worrying about the rules. So, but I love him. And if Jake Warner pulled this off, I would be happy to, Washington, Illinois kid, watched him, come through the ranks. I just feel this is a matchup where I like Younger here. And like you said, him getting off the bottom is that's over. And actually I've been impressed this year the most with him is his top game. At being able to ride himself. You can see he spent a lot of time on that. And he's a college wrestler now. He came in a freestyle guy. Now he's a college wrestler. And 197, look out. I mean, this guy is polished and definitely has all the skills, I think, now to be a champion. And I said it, I don't know if he'll win it this year, but I think he wins multiple titles.
Yeah, I think it's Spencer Lee, it's Keegan O'Toole, it's Younger Bastida, best mat wrestlers in the game. Jake, what do you think?
I don't know about that, but I do think Younger is going to win this match. I think, when we start talking about betting, and I know Corby just kind of talked about it being a trap. I think you've got a bounce back spot for Warner after a tough loss, and you've got a Younger and a guy who everyone's probably picking right now just based on the Warner that they've watched over the last week or so. But give me Younger. I think Warner's going to keep it really tight. I think it's going to be close at the end. I think you're going to look at, a third period takedown that decides it. That's kind of my overall opinion on it. I think Younger gets it done. I think he's just a little bit more dynamic on his feet. But, if Warner rides a little bit or if he snakes out an early takedown, I think it could be a match that goes Warner's way.
Tyler, you got a prediction?
I'm going Younger. It's tough to root against them. And, yeah, just exactly what they said from what we've seen out of Warner as of recent. I think we're going to get a repeat of last year when this matchup happened with no slamming of headgear.
Did we just go? I think we went all four for Younger. I like that. All right. The final, the heavyweight 2018 I wouldn't think that they're going to need Sam Stoll. Are they going to need Tony Cassiope? Jake, what do you think?
You know, based on my picks, I don't think they'll need him. But you know, in a duel like this, they're definitely going to need him to beat Skyler here. I think this is a match that, you know, you look at last year's match, and you know, Cassiope stalled him out. It was kind of just non-competitive. You know, maybe some iffy stall calls, but I do think this match is going to be a lot more competitive than last year's. I think Skyler's made big jumps. Obviously, we watched him beat Hilger, so that's a great win for him. I think, you know, he can match Cassiope athletically. I think he lacks the offense probably to beat Cassiope, but I do think it's going to be a tighter match. I think this is a match that, you know, maybe if the duel comes down to it, Cassiope pushes for a major. But if I had to guess, Skyler's going to be able to keep it close and, you know, maybe lose like a 3 or 4 point match. And, you know, that's kind of my thoughts on it. I think Cassiope's better, but I think Skyler's closed the gap there.
I
have to agree
definitely,
with that.
same thing. If he had to, like you said, I think if it came down to it and Cassiope's, you know, chasing the fall and going to his hammer lock, you know, and coming out and trying to run that multiple times, you know, having to go for a pin to win a duel, you know, I don't know. But I got Skyler sticking in there. I think he's put on some size. I think he's got more confident.
Absolutely.
That's a fact.
Here's a scenario for you. What if Iowa State's up by so much and I was favored at heavyweight and we just give it to them? All right. They want it. They're going to win. We just give it to them. Here you go. We're going to forfeit it.
Well, that happened years ago, right? Years ago, Tom gave that win to them, right? Where they were favored in the duel.
What if Dresser does it to him? What if he goes, you know what?
Yeah.
We blanked you guys.
Yeah,
we're going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I think, you know?
Yeah, you could see that. That would kind of be funny. Yeah, I don't think you see that happen though.
No, I don't think so either. But that'd be a power move.
That was a good bar.
Well,
from
here's
fellas in
another
the video,
reason.
though.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. All right. There it is. Can't wait. We'll see you guys Sunday morning at 9 a.m. We're going to go live on this YouTube channel, so check it out. This episode is also brought to you by Barbarian Apparel. Shout out to Barbarian Apparel, the best apparel company in the freaking game. It's not even close. There's not even a close second. So go check out barbarianapparel.com. We'll see you guys Sunday. Peace.